Thank you and welcome to another episode of Off the Pitch with TK. My name is TK and we are Off the Pitch with TK Season 3. Today in studio we are joined by a former Mamelodi Sundowns and Free Staters player. He played for so many teams. We'll get through them as we go with the conversation. This guy in plus minus 11 seasons, he played for 12 teams, but he will tell us why and what happened. But for now, I'm going to say I'm talking to former Mamelodi Sundowns and Free Staters midfielder. His name is Luyolo Nomandela. Mayano, kunjani boy?
Siyaphila kunjani futhi ke?
And right.
Bhuti.
Ukahle?
Kuyaphileka.
Yeah.
Khala kusiza.
Ayithanda. And those are mukuthetha but isixhosa sami asikho.
It's fine now ngamix fine.
Yeah, you can hear even I don't even know how to say Xhosa. There is a tongue complication.
Yeah.
But that's our ring, man.
Okay.
They say football language is universal.
Yeah, it's universal.
Yeah, if you guys can play with South American guys and you're able to communicate with Ufunani, it's over easy.
It should be.
Yeah. Mamela boy, most guys started seeing you at Free State Stars, which is a PSL team. Umayano, where does he come from and ufika kanjani ku Free State Stars?
Okay, Bhuti Umayano suka eMthatha. I'm originally from Mthatha eNgqaleni. Yeah, and then relocated to East London. And then most of my life I spent in East London, and then I joined Pushbacks. Okay, Mthatha bengidlala my Tigers. That's where my soccer career started. At my Tigers development team at Mthatha, and then we went to stay in East London, the family. So I had to join Pushbacks then. So ngakhula ne Pushbacks right through the development structures until 2011. I joined FC Buffalo, and FC Buffalo was participating in Motsepe League then. Yes, and then I went there, and then we won the league that year. That is 2011 with the FC Buffalo, and then we had to go to playoffs at Cape Town. And then to fast forward to Free Stars, then I was scouted at Cape Town with playoffs. I was scouted by Kaizer Kicks. Kaizer Kicks was playing in NFD then. And then the following season, 2011-2012 season, I joined Kaizer Kicks. Yeah. And then Kaizer Kicks was more like under Free Stars. So while I signed a 2-year contract with the Kaizer Kicks, but fortunately enough, I only played one season for Kaizer Kicks, and then Free Stars signed me. So that's how I joined the Free Stars.
So Kaizer Kicks saw you go playoffs.
Yes, they saw me.
Were they also playing playoffs? Were they part
no,
of the
no, they were in NFT already. They just went to scout players.
Scout.
Yeah, because it was a Vodacom League then. ABC Motsepe. Yeah. So Kaizer Kicks, about Dan Ken Lechisa.
Yes.
Nabo William Muke was still our coach then. Yeah.
Then Mafia with Kaizer Kicks, and Kaizer Kicks, I remember, was a feeder team to Free State
To Stars.
They
Yes.
had a relationship.
Yes, they had a
And
relationship.
then if Free State Stars see you there, udlala ku NFT.
Yeah, Free Stars, we used to play with friendly games with them. Yeah, so when we played friendly games with the Free Stars, Gama international breaks, you used to play against them. So I used to perform well, and then Coach Steve and Coach Themba Stole then, they said halfway through the season, they told me that next season I'll be signing with Free Stars. I must just keep on working hard for Free Stars. So my season, I already knew, but like I'm going to Free Stars because I was doing well in the league, also in NFT, because I was scoring goals, and it was my first season in professional stage. Yeah.
So now, when you get to Free State Stars, who were the coaches at the time?
That time it was Coach Steve, and then Themba Stole. And then when I arrived at Free Stars, and then we were joined by Coach Mandla Ngagazi. Yeah. And
at that time, we hear that at Free State Stars you needed to be fit. Were you in that regime that training hard was everything? Only fittest players will survive at Free State Stars.
Yeah, it's Free Stars. Yeah, because I remember Free Stars, you are told that Free Stars is a hard-working team because like it's not a team that always produce quality. Like I'll say, I'm a player at Bulisha, so they depend on hard-working players. So yeah, when I got to Free Stars, I already like basically style because the Kara Kicks we were training the same way as Free Stars. So I think that's why it was easy for me to adjust at Free Stars.
Yeah, and Mayano, most players when they start their first PSL, get their first PSL contract, usually they say money is not an issue as long as I can play for PSL. How was the deal? And from what I know or heard is that Opera Mike, may his soul rest in peace, he was not friendly with the money and he didn't want a lot of players outside Free State, especially Gauteng players. How was the deal when you got there? From in terms of the contract,
from Kara Kicks?
Yes, yeah. When Free State signed you, did you get to negotiate the deal they were giving you, or they just presented to you to say, boy, this is your contract, this is how much we're gonna pay you? No,
we negotiated. I was lucky enough because I had a late brother of mine, Omakwez, may his soul rest in peace, and my father. They were the ones who were handling my negotiation. Yeah. So I know when it comes to contracts, my father and my brother, they were on top of those things. So when it comes to me, when I was signing for Free Stars, when it comes to contract and everything, we never had problems. Yeah. It was not a matter of like they showed me. We had to negotiate for weeks. Yeah, it was not just like, okay, Nancy Tuana sign. Yeah.
So you had family representative who said, no, boy, Umnandi, but let's agree on this number.
On this, yeah. It was not a matter of like a situation difficult. It was not a difficult situation. Yeah. We told them what we want, and then we negotiated, and then we agreed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how old do you still remember? How old were you when you turned pro? When you started playing for Free State Stars team?
I think I was 23 or 22. Yeah. 23. I think.
Yeah. What's Sundowns?
Sundowns, yeah. Sundowns, yeah. When I joined Free Stars, I think I was 23. Yeah. Yeah.
And now, Lendukba young and 10 pro, now you've got the salary that you were not used to. How does it change or affect you now off the pitch? Because most in your challenge, man is saying nemali that I never had, and I'm a regular ngemnandi. How did you deal with such situation?
Hence I said I had a guidance from my father and my brother. So when it comes to money issues, I didn't have much problems because I was already told by my father how to save money and how to invest. Hence I'm saying they knew my salary. Yeah. So the big cut says at the time we negotiated this for you. So this is what you're gonna use for this month. So it was much easier for me because I was grounded when it comes to money, because each time we say yes, but he's the one who negotiated for a contract. So I couldn't like to him ngikhola 10 rand, whereas I'm ngikhola 30 rand. So he knew when we're getting paid. So the month end they asked good mfana, you know what you must do. You must take this money to savings and so forth. So when it comes to that money thing, I was fortunate enough to have a father figure who helped me so much. Even my mother, the whole family, my brothers, they also helped me in that regard of the money part.
Yeah. And when you go to Free State, do you still remember, I mean, we've known you to be a left-sided midfielder. Do you still remember who was the guy that you needed to push for you to get into the starting 11?
I still remember it was 2 players. It was Muzi Mashaba.
Yes.
And Muzi Mashaba at that time, he was doing well. He was playing for Bafana, and every team wanted him. So and firstly, when I got to Free State, I remember Coach Tembas he told me that, hey, Morena, if Batlo Bapala, when the times 2 as these boys, Wabiza, Umuzi Mashaba and Katlego Mashiko.
Yes.
And they were on their peak. They were doing at that time. They were doing so well. So I had to push myself. I had to work hard to make sure that I also get my chance. Because because the coach, you could see that even the teammates, they believed in them. Even the coach, they believed in them. So I had to. But lucky enough for me, the first game we played Polokwane against Super Sport, and then Muzi Mashaba was there. And then after that game, we had to play the first league game. And then Umuzi Mashaba, he went AWOL.
After the
Polokwane game, he went AWOL, Umuzi Mashaba. No one knew where he was until maybe after 2 weeks. Then we found out that he signed for Vets. So that meant Mayano it's a chance. So Umuzi Mashaba, then the door was open. Then I never looked back because then like every player is fit here when I take care. If I get the chance, I try, but then I.
Yeah.
So that's how it happened. Ukuthi ngithole first starting lineup at Free State.
Yeah. And by that time, you knew ukuthi first thing first, fitness will get me into the team. And if I get a chance, I must grab it.
Yeah, fitness wise, they pushed me. About Coach Steve, like it was easy to work at Free State because about Coach Steve, about Coach Chamber, they pushed me because the baby one good Tyler. So it was I told her.
Yeah.
I remember even when we went to my pre-season games in Lesotho. I never thought like I was gonna be in the 18 squad for pre-season, and we went to Lesotho, and then I was in the 18-man squad, and I was like, so early sauce in 18, and then that thing when I practice TK, once someone shows that he is into you, he believes in you, so to me it was that easy for me because I could see the 3 coaches, they believe in me.
Yeah.
So it was for me just to push myself a little bit. So yeah.
And how is Coach Steve as a person, a motivator? How would you describe Coach Steve?
Coach Steve is a top guy. That one, Steve Komelang. That guy.
Yeah.
But Steve, he will tell you things that you'll see things different once you talk to him. I remember when there was a game that we were gonna play, I think against Celtics. When you play against it, it's a derby game, you remember.
Yeah.
So I had a nightmare before the game. I had a bad dream. I don't remember what the dream was, but I had a bad dream. And when I woke up in the following day, I told my roommate that I was sharing a room with Tebegang European. I said, hey, my brother, I'm not feeling well today. I had a bad dream, man. I'm not feeling well. I don't think I'm going to perform today. And then he went to Coach Steve and called Coach Steve. And Coach Steve came to the room and said to me, hey, guys, I'm fine. Coach. Oh, we used to call each other Mkhosa. Because I'm also Khosa.
Yeah.
I will say, hey, Mkhosa, hey, today man, I don't think I will play well today. And Coach Steve said, when you've prayed for this moment all your life, and now just you won't play because of dreams. Dreams are there to boy. Whether it's bad dream or good dream. When you focus game today, so he always knew how to motivate us. Like he always knew how to speak the right words at the right time. So Coach Steve, he was a good motivator. He still is a good motivator and a good coach.
Yeah. But English, you're confused. How did you guys find it?
I'm not sure English, but English it's we understand we are used because we are mixed. Steve, he will speak English while speaking English. While speaking Sotho, so he accommodates everyone in the room when he's around. So there's no way you wouldn't understand him because he speaks almost all the languages. So there's no moment where like you feel lost or you don't hear him.
So there is this thing of the so-called small teams. I mean, you started your career the so-called small teams, Free State Stars. When they're going to play the big 3, they perform differently. During the week, when you know weekend is Chiefs, Sundowns, or Pirates, mentally and then on the day of the match?
It's exciting. It's that feeling when we're gonna play a big game. Like even Maso Intwana, if like you under 12, so you play a good game. We're gonna play a big game. You don't even sleep. Like you're excited. You can't wait for tomorrow's game. So even at professional football, it's like that. When you're gonna play against big teams, like as you mentioned, 3 teams, it motivated us as players because we knew that we're gonna be on TV. First of all, gonna be live. And it's a chance to showcase your talent because many people will be watching the game. So it's just a big game in Orlando. And when it's big game when it comes to me, I love the big games and I love the big stadium because you won't hear much about Coach Batini. You're gonna play your normal game, and when you play your normal games, you just say, okay, Coach Batini, move, you okay? Because Zimnand is a flow, a tough game. I find in just your normal games, go on teams.
So that's why mostly players against big teams, you see them performing differently.
I think so because some of the players, they grew up supporting some teams cool. So now you are at this team and you are playing against team you used to support and your family used to support. Now certainly, I grew up in a family that my family supports Kaizer Chiefs. I remember first stars, Master Chiefs. My father would call and say, hey, Ngiyacela ke mntanami ungasenzeli imihlola kusasa ke because uyayazi ukuthi Chiefs i-team yala ekhaya. So you know those things yabo ukubona ba like everybody will be watching, especially gonna play against Pirates. Like you see your friends growing up at school, they were Pirate supporters. They still are, some of them.
Yeah.
So those pressures they come true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So exactly how many seasons did you play at Free State Stars? Because now you are talk of town. The big three wants you. The boy must go to Joburg and prove himself. But how many seasons? Because before everybody now wanted you at their teams.
I signed for 3-year contract First Stars, and then all the teams that they wanted me at first season. I didn't plan the first season because my first season was a top one. I played well for the Stars, so they wanted me on the first season. But me and my father we discussed, and my brother. Hence, I'm saying he was still managing me then before I joined Team Sundowns. So we spoke, me and my father, and said like, I'm not yet ready for this for the first season to go to any other teams. Let's try and look. Let's try and play for a second season. First stage. Remember, I had three-year contracts. So all the teams they wanted me at first season. So, but I had to wait for the first, and then second season it began, and then the second season I joined Sundowns in January. I signed the contract in January for Sundowns, but I joined them at the end of the season. Yeah.
So when you joined Sundowns, why didn't you join Kaizer Chiefs? Because there were rumors that Kaizer Chiefs wanted you. What happened with the Chiefs deal?
As we saying when I practice, it was rumors when I practice, because as a person, as you go where you wanted, you go where you see like bayangfuna labo. So sometimes they were more like even Coach Pete or a special Coach Pete used to call me and say, son, we want you here. So they showed Baba they want me there. So in the Chiefs, it was more like rumors. It was never like something ebambekayo ukuthi hayi siyamfuna uNomandela in yabo. So Sundowns they showed me from the onset. They even drove, I remember he even drove to First State Stars just to come and see me, to show me about ukuthi bayangifuna kuSundowns. Yeah, so it was easy for me to join Sundowns. Yeah.
So Chiefs never made a call to you. Your agent never heard from Chiefs. Free State management never heard from Chiefs.
I think there were calls from Chiefs to my agent and my manager from Free State Stars, because I remember like the manager Free State Stars then he said, Chiefs because I spoke to my manager Free State Stars then I said, bro, what's happening in the Chiefs? Because I hear rumors and at that time I maybe confused because so the guy explained to me, manager, in the Chiefs, I think the contract was or something. It's fine as long as I'm gonna go away. I'm wanted. Yeah. So it was like that when I took in the Kaizer Chiefs. It was never like in the solid. Yeah.
So basically, from the little you've had, Chiefs negotiations, they didn't even get to you. They broke down between Chiefs and Free State Stars.
Yeah, maybe even in agent. Yeah, because my that time I had agent, with Team Sundowns. Yeah, and Team Sundowns was connected to all the big teams. Yeah. So he was the one who was handled that part of negotiations, who wants me and so forth.
Yeah. And then now you end up joining Sundowns.
Yeah.
How was life when you get to Sundowns? Teammate of Stars by that time already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
big sharp, particularly big sharp Sundowns. I remember my first arrive at Sundowns. We went to Namibia, for pre-season tournament. Yeah, and then we won the tournament, and from there I could feel that I'm coming to a winning team. Like no off season, but they play to win. Sundowns. So I went the first chance Sundowns. We played in Namibia tournament and I played well, and then we won the tournament, and then we came back for in your season, and then I started well. I remember we had a camp in Polokwane, and then that's when things started. I got a bit of a hamstring injury. Yeah, then so that's where I didn't manage to get like some game time. Then So my stay at Sundowns, like my arrival at Sundowns was proper. Everybody welcomed me so well. I remember at that time they were calling about Mike. Mike Ntombela.
Yes, he was the team manager at the time.
Team manager is the one who also helped me with accommodation. Even about Peter Ndlovu, is a good guy. Peter Ndlovu, he also welcomed me so well at Sundowns. So
So when you moved from Free State starts to a team like Sundowns, when you get here, they sort you with accommodation first few months, or what's the arrangement? Do they have a clubhouse where you play?
No, where sometimes got a place whereby like they accommodate players, not a clubhouse. Yeah, just maybe for 3 days or 4 days, and then while they're still looking for a place for you to stay, and then once you are okay with the place to stay, then you can continue with your thing.
Oh.
Yeah, mara mawufika nje bafika bakugayela indlu ukuthi ufikele khona, because maybe especially when you're outside player from Joburg and you don't know the city. Yeah, they help you those things. Hence I'm saying with me it was Mike, Ntombela and Peter Ndlovu. Yeah.
And most players, when they move from the so-called small teams to the bigger 3, we usually look at 2 benefits. It's either you want to challenge yourself against the best so that your career can grow, and also financial benefit. Were there financial benefits for you when you moved from Prestigious to Mamelodi Sundowns?
Yeah, obviously, because obviously, a team when a team buys a player, obviously there's some financial boost. So it was same case as me, Nampa. There was a financial boost. But when I joined to Sundowns, I wanted to win. I wanted to win trophies. Hence, I'm saying, if you remember, I said when I first arrived at Sundowns, the first game in Dala, I win the tournament in Namibia. So I feel good. This is what I wanted. Lift my trophies Sundowns. So it's one of the things that I'm for Sundowns to win trophies, to play finals. And then the rest will come. And then to play among the best. To play amongst the best. So yeah.
Yeah. And now, Mayano, you say Josie, playing for a big team. Everybody now recognize you everywhere you go. Maliko, Ibanjani life off the pitch.
Yeah, it tends to be different when I run man, because as now like you attract more friends now. Like when I say you attract more friends, like you have time for everybody now. Like you don't have time for yourself and your time for ube freely for training. So yeah, and expectations also, you play for Sundowns now. Everybody expect miracles from you. Well, people from home, they expect you to do this and do that. So yeah, so it changes there. Yeah.
So kuba ne pressure from home, kuba ne pressure from your peers in terms of their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Une pressure kuma teammates.
Pressure, and playing for a team like Sundowns, man, une pressure fika tlhoko man. Lapho you feel ukuthi la you have to work, like you're playing for a big team. That's the pressure you get. Even among any tlhoko pe ke team uyaza ukushaya ama goosebumps ukuthi yeah. So that's the challenges of playing good for a big team. You have to be ready mentally and otherwise, and physical, obviously. Yeah.
And then most of you Sundowns signed. Pito wanted you, he sent Trot to speak to you. Most of you Sundowns, does Pito have a private conversation with you about his plans about you and the team?
Yeah, I did. I remember your head. Yeah. Because I remember when you came back from Namibia, I remember at Oratambo, so I had to go back to Island and home. So he said to me, "Hey, son, when you come back for pre-season, you must try and work 2 times more than us, because up at Sundowns they don't train much. Men push away now, like you have to work double." Yeah, so that's why it's easy to even gain weight at Sundowns, because you have to figure out mostly you'll be working maybe on video analysis. Yeah. So he told me like, Mayano, you from Freestyle Stars, whereby they were working so hard. You come to Sundowns, we don't work as triple as you were working at Freestyle Stars. Yeah, we deal with ball. We make ball work here. Physical wise, we don't do much. So you have to push yourself. So he did. We always had those one-on-one sessions with people. Yeah.
And Sundowns is known for paying players well, and they've got good bonuses, especially when the team is winning. Is there a program where they advise players about their finance, or is there a platform where they teach new players or youngsters or players in general about money, looking after money and investment?
I won't lie, particularly they do, because I remember there were guys that used to come to Clockcorp, like Abantu Babe health wise, and Abantu Babe financial advisors, even the guys from Abantu Babe, what you call Players Union. They always come at Tlokop. So advisors, they will always come at Tlokop. They will even open for you if you want to open accounts, what you call a funeral covers. Those people, they will come at Tlokop. So when it comes to that, Sundowns is on top of that. They're very professional when it comes to that. So I would say, yeah, they did that. Financial advisors, they would come, and after training, hence we will have a session with them, and they will tell you the benefits of the financial advices. Yeah.
So advice is up to players.
It's up to it's up to players on a particular. I won't lie, yeah, because they do provide them sometimes. Yeah.
And you were at Sundowns when they were already participating in the Champions League. What was your experience with the continent traveling?
Yeah, but it's exhausting, eh? Yeah, Kaizer, because at one time Mrs. Zimbabwe, I remember Mrs. Zimbabwe, and then you play like pre-season games, and after 5 games, and then you have to fly again. We have to go to Zambia. So the traveling when is exhausting, and then the time you spend at airport, because even a man connector, you just don't land and you figure airport, you stay another 30 minutes, an hour airport, waiting for another flight to connect. So so those things, they also work in mentally, because you get to the stadium already, you are exhausted physically and mentally, because you send maybe like for so long.
And now, eventually, you leave Sundowns to Swallows. Was it a loan?
Yeah, it was a loan.
What was the agreement? How did the loan come about?
Oh, the loan, I requested the loan. Yeah, I asked Coach Pete, so right now, I'm used in playing. So can you no coach? Turns out it's something. So okay, let's push something for Swallows, because they've got a good relationship at that time. So they spoke to the management of Swallows that, hey, can you take Nomandela just to come and help the team for 6 months on loan? So yeah, that's how the deal came about. I requested the loan because I wanted to play when it came. Yeah.
And then more for your Swallows, did you get the game time you were looking for?
Yeah, I did play some games Swallows, but also when I it went back to the hamstring injury I had, because when it comes to hamstring injury, you think you are healed, but it's not proper healed until when ihlangane. So so every time I pick up, even it. So that's why when I gave it a rest. So now with Swallows, I remember the first game I played with Swallows, it was against the Sundowns. Yeah, while I was on loan to Swallows. Yeah, we were playing at Pretoria, and I scored in that game. Yeah, so I started building my confidence until I got an injury again. Yeah.
And your loan spell at Swallows, and you go back to Sundowns?
Go back to Sundowns. I went back to Sundowns again.
Then when you get to Sundowns, what happened? And
then I get to Sundowns. Then I had a pre-season with Sundowns again. And then we played some games. I was doing well also that season. And then the season started. And then Pajay got promoted that season. So it's to PSL. And Pajay phoned about Coach Pete and Mangoba Mneti. And they said, Ish, we want some players from you guys, and one of them, it's Nomandela. Coach Pajay. Season now. To be honest, okay, I know I want to fight for my position because bangitshela must of preseason masibuya nje wena TK bangitshela ukuthi Nomandela kune team kufuna project yakufuna yabo, and I told myself that season okay, I'm going to fight for my position with Sundowns. Okay, Mpumalanga now at preseason, and then I'm training well, but I could see like our coach, they already made that decision, they want to send me loan to Ijo, because I think they spoke well about Pache. And I'm still pushing and getting. So what happened in my last days of the closing of transfer window, so they had to buy my paper rush Sundowns no Pache. And I remember when I particularly PSL Parktown must figure we didn't reach the deadline. We were late. So I had to stay 6 months from July until January not playing, because the loan deal to go to didn't happen because we were late. I think there were papers that were missing from Sundowns of Pache. So kabanga with frustration from 6 months. You know, good house with practically you win the value, and then the Sundowns they already closed.
So if Sundowns didn't register you and Ujomo didn't receive all the papers,
The papers,
to register you with
we were later.
PSL.
I remember that day. The tickets. Ngangibaya no uPrache. Ngangibaya no Prache. And relaxile moto ngithi Prache isikhathi. Bazovala abantu. Masifika lapho producer papers. And then I remember there were one paper that was missing or something. And then we had to phone office with Sundowns that these papers, the papers that are missing here. And that time we were about like 5 minutes left. The closing. My man, when we came out of the PSL office, I was like another 6 months again without playing, just training. So it was frustrating.
And now you were hyped up to say, I'm ready to play.
I was ready. Trust me, I was ready. Remember, I had that spirit of, I wanted to play at Sundowns.
Yes.
That is, I told myself I'm going to fight for my position. So mentally, physically wise, I was okay. So when I went, when they said the deal is going to happen to Jomo Cosmos, I was fit because I was doing the preseason with Sundowns. So now they say, so you're going to be registered in January.
And at that time when Sundowns coaches tell you Jomo wants you, they tell you it's a loan. They are not selling you as yet.
No, they still it's a loan. Because those coaches, they believed me about coaching about Roland Mukwena and the Pizzo. Most coaches, when I take, let me tell you, they believe in me. It comes to the question that you're saying now, because I even said to me now, a second loan again. Because that's why I told myself after I swallowed that I'm going to come and fight for my position now at Sundowns. So now when they send me on loan, I said like, why don't you just give me a clearance again for the second time? Why they send me on loan? And then Coach Roland, I asked Coach Roland, I said like, look my boy, Coach Luran and Coach Pete, I remember they called me in the boardroom when they were telling me about this Cosmos deal. So, look, my boy, the reason that we are sending you to Cosmos is because we still have plans for you. We still believe you. We saw what we saw in First Stars, and when what we saw in First Stars, it was natural. Your talent is natural. We saw a talent. You see, when the coach is about to tell again, then I'm in a calm zone. Okay, I said, okay, coach, I will join Cosmos. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah. And when you joined Sundowns, how many years? 4 or 5 years?
Sundowns.
First contract at Sundowns from
4 years. 4 years, yeah.
So now at that 6 months when you are not registered with the PSL, who do you train with?
I train with Uchom because I already knew about what I can't be training with Sundowns, so let me get familiar to the guys so that when January comes, I'm already familiar with the guys and the style of play. So I was training with Uprache, yeah.
Who's paying you that time? Your salary comes from Sundowns.
Yeah, it comes from Sundowns. Yeah.
But now, what does it do mentally to a player to know good things? So Jim 6 months, but he came Dololo.
It was frustrating, bro. Like we even went to into some application or something. Yeah, we went to FIFA. When the deadline is closed, there's nothing they can do. So it was frustrating. Like 6 months. Like when it comes, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, coach prepare the team. And they can't prepare you because we know you won't play. It's not like injury. You are not registered. I'm not going to camp. I'm just motivating the guys that push push abomnari, push abo Figo, abolinda mtambo. That's why I push the guys. It's about just pushing.
And isn't where now when I speak to most players, they say once you know I'm not gonna play, your mind start idling. You start not saying, okay, I'm gonna train, but for what? So I only refocus when I know my time is coming, because I'm sure it won't be easy.
Yeah, it was like that with me when I take care of life. Like before you're a player, you're a human being first. Yeah, so there was a stage okay, sometimes good thing and fake injury when I practice. Just good sky rest. So yeah, that's how it kills. That time though, you're killing yourself because you have to stay fit all the time because you don't know who's watching it anytime. You don't know where your chance and my fake chance. You must always be ready. So yeah, it also happened to me at that time.
The only thing you can play is friendlies.
It's friendly games, yeah. Now, my friendly games get practical. Uzodlala ku third team.
Yeah,
like third team because. To be honest, when you play a friendly game, you're preparing a team for a weekend. Nomandela, we're not going to need Nomandela for this weekend. We can't be like on our first 11 plans and reserves. Yeah, but we're going to use Nomandela in 5 months time. So yeah, but Pache and he was open to me. Even summer friendly. Yeah.
And then now that 6 months elapsed, you can be registered.
Yep.
When you register, where is Cosmos on the league? What's the situation?
Better. Yeah. I don't remember exactly the position we were at that time, but because I remember the first game we played in January against Tax Pretoria. We played against Tax, and I think we lost the game. Yeah, in fact, we lost the game against Tax. And that time, Tax were competing with them, Paisans. Yes, that's we can't lose to a team that you're competing with. So yeah. So a team besides when I first joined January, because when you join the team January when I TK, it's difficult because it's the turnaround. The second leg, top 8, league, survival. Yeah. So mangfika on so I had to pick up the team.
Problem.
And it plans this season. Computer, I want to win trophies. That's because I always set myself dreams and goals before the league starts. So yeah.
And then you play that like 6 months. Does Cosmos survive relegation or they get relegated?
We got relegated. They got relegated. I remember like came upon Marisbeck, Marisbeck, the game that dramatic Marisbeck when I wrote my
last goal.
That game when I TK, I still don't know what happened that game, bro.
Because if I remember when you guys were leading,
we were leading that game, bro, and I remember like I don't know if the guys they got too much excited or in my respect they just threw everything because they knew it's between life and death now. Yeah, so it was hurtful, because it was a do or die game because that's where we got relegated.
Yes, because
and that's where
Cosmos
was. Imagine. So it was painful. It was painful. At that game, I was not playing because I had an injury, a slight injury on that game, last game. I didn't play. I was on the stands, watching on the stand. It was so painful. And we considered like last few minutes of the game. And looking at Prache's eyes and Amachita, it was so painful because it was also sad to me when I practiced. As much as I'll still go back to Sundowns, but it was sad because they were just promoted to PSL. And because Prache and Prache believes in and experience. So it was emotional and yeah.
And then now Cosmos get relegated, your parent team Sundowns calls you back.
Yeah.
Then when you go back, it's a new season now.
It's a new season.
So you had 6 months not playing, you had 6 months fighting relegation. Now you are back to Sundowns.
Manje ngiyabatshela ke manje practice ukuthi manje ngifuna amaphepha manje ngikhuluma manje batshela maseqala season straight ke manje ngikhuluma no Patriot. Angithi nguye the first state.
Yeah.
Ezongilanda first state.
Yeah.
Ake sengamlanda manje uthi Patriot. Mina sengifuna ushifta man. Sengifuna ushifta. Kubona ukuthi yabona ukuthi asengifuna ku team engizodlala khona wona practice. Lapho Sundowns they don't just release you, man. That's what they so professional. Abakulahleli nje kuphela. And that time the time that to introduce ama disc multi choice disc. Yeah. Nalaba mabamba ngayo ke lapha.
Yeah.
But hayi ngiyabona sicela introduce manje i multi disc choice noma. Abona ke manje kushuthi uzovela nase TV lokudlala ngithi coach mina that's the thing I don't want to ngivele TV ngingadlali. I want to play in the first team.
Yeah, you know what you're capable of. They know why they signed you.
But ngiyazibuza ukuthi wabe ngafuna ungirelease because bayangitshela manje ukuthi manje bona upitso multi choice na manje I'll get game time there. Like I'm guaranteed now but every week I'm going to play. So and but coach I'm guaranteed I'm going to play in MTC
development.
What so coach let's give it a try, coach. Again, give it a try, for 6 months ngiyabona ukuthi okay I'm playing labo sidlala nabo Percy Tau ke labo Shozi ku Sundowns.
I remember that team
MTC yeah.
About the late Mujeka Madisha they were.
Madisha yabo Ace.
Yeah.
Yeah, that time and that time PSL teams they can just send any player to MTC. It was not a matter of unders. Ages. So I'm doing MTC ngiyabona ukuthi competence yami yabo uyathike ne. Angathanga uJanuary yakhe ngiyavaya manje yabo. Angakhuluma ngathi ngabangida amaphepha ami manje.
Now you played MDC 6 months.
Yeah, ngidlala 6 months. Ngisemana first team ngenze i18. Ngakhumbula sizodlala ne Kaizer Chiefs Soccer City. I was in the Sundowns they select 20 players for the camp.
For the camp instead of 18.
Instead of 18 they take 20 players to the camp, and then when you arrive to the camp the following day, when you go to the change room, the 18 players, you see your jersey, a change room if you are in the 18. So when I went, I was hyped up when I took City. I'm playing this Kaizer Chiefs game.
Yeah.
Even the guys, they were saying, I know Mamchana. We'll see that this week, you mean? We're going to play, we call it 18.
Yeah, you were buzzing.
I was buzzing. I must figure out Soccer City. I forget change room. I'm going to say, I'm going to passing. I will figure out the change room. Number 11. So man ngekuthi lakho lapho the two players bakat. So that time it was me and the Cheese Boy. So I didn't make the team. Yeah, for ngule ukuthi ngiyena. Hayi inhliziyo yami ibhlungu thike ngithi mase ngiphushe kanje. Mangidlalisa bakhusha ukuthi hayi mase ngiphushe kanje ngeke ngithole chance la. Hayi lapho ngafostela khona ukuthi hayi ngithi ngithola amaphepha ami kanje. Angazi ukuthi ngiyakweba team ngokona part ke. Yabuthi ukuthi ngase let me have my papers, then I will see where I'm going. And then we negotiated on a Sundowns no bathingibani ngikhohliwe ku Sundowns you cash yeah thanks then negotiated no cash until you cash this is what's happening, and then we negotiated indaba a settlement, and then that's how. So Sundowns they never like bathi hayi vaya azange phela ne contract yami. I remember even bes frustrated mina nabo Ejike. There was a player, but
remember Ejike from Nigeria.
Yeah, Uzweni. Yeah, good player also.
But he never.
Yeah, Nabo Mulenga, Mukuka Mulenga.
Yeah.
I remember it was 3 of us. I remember we went to Sundowns about Chagutawi. Sinafuna paper man. So cause and the more you push, we don't blame even the coach on a particular, because even those ones are playing first level, they are doing well. It's not like bad deliver. You just want to play. We're not blaming coach for, but now I feel like I'm ready to play. Yeah,
but Mauchagale how to compete and is on form.
He's on form, yeah. Every time we compete on Nabokama.
Yeah,
Nabotoli, yeah, Nabokama, Nabokama, yeah. So I thought it was paneling.
It was that time of famous CBD. It's not easy to
yeah.
One of them out.
Yeah, so I said,
they don't get injured.
Yeah. They don't get injured. At Sundowns, they don't get injured, Baba.
Yeah.
Let me just be honest with myself.
Then you ask for your paper. But through all this spend, when Mayan, sometimes they're paying you your salary as agreed, you get your signing on fees as agreed.
Everything proper.
No, game time pay.
The game time, staff professional. You don't Sundowns. Camp. If you go to Africa, you go as a team you just have to wait for your chance. Ongayazi ukuthi kumele ukuthokoza abogogo ukuthi might very chance nakumdlalo. So I said let me just have my papers. Ngiyakwazi udlala ibhola. I will see where I'm going. So I negotiated no UCash. I gave my papers, and then I think ngitshwela like Cape Town. I think phumela ijozi ngithi Cape Town. Okay, na Cape Town ngafike ngajima ne Cape Town City. And the management Cape Town City kune Roman being organized lapho Cape Town City ukuthi mangiye lapho yabo.
But let me just pause you there. But then where's your agent? Where's Tim Sugas who brought you to Sundowns? When you now want to move and go to Cape Town City, still involved or say representing yourself?
Bese ku contract yami no Tim Sugas then bese izophela. Yeah, but in fact I think it was bese iphelile because I didn't renew because I signed 2-year contract with Tim Sugas. It was finished then. And by the time we say phela team because I was like, okay, at least since I was good how to negotiate.
Yeah. So when you were doing the Jomo Cosmos, no team, you don't have an agent by then.
I do have an agent, no team.
With team.
No team, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then Kumbula, we had the office presenting. He's got team. Yeah, I used to go to his office, negotiate how we gonna tackle things like that. Yeah, so been communicating with our team now. Yeah.
Then now, who organized your move to Cape Town now?
I think there were guys behind the scenes when I TK when I man. Last September, I think Roman was also behind the scene.
Yes.
Because I remember when Cape Town playing at Jima, and that time coach Cape Town City was Eric Tick. And Eric Tick I called Luyolo now convince some coach.
Yeah.
So much what to think give me 3 days, my boy. I want to see something. To think. And I've never been coached by a white coach. Yeah. Once a coach believes in me, thinking, what immediately that coach think me, just give me 3 days, boy. I want to see something. I already knew what he wants to sign me.
Yeah.
Obviously, the phone thing said to me, already energy is there. Coach said, just give me something. I want to see something. So I trained in the Cape Town City for a week. And then they were playing the final on Telecom Cup.
Yeah, in Polokwane.
And when they came back, that's when I signed for Cape Town City. I signed for Cape Town City. Yeah.
So ukphuma ku Sundowns after getting your papers in January, did you go straight to Cape Town or you were idling for some few months?
I was idling for some few months in this Jimela.
Yeah. Then the Cape Town City signed. And you only played 2 games there. Yeah. What happened to Cape Town City?
I think there were things that were happening, like family-wise, like personal-wise, because like that's where I concentrated in Cape Town. I started well as a Cape Town. I remember the first game I played in Passport. Yeah, and then Savala, and then because it was December we signed Cape Town City, and then Savala, then we came back more January. And then that's when we I don't know if since the videos are filming because of the late brother of mine, I was close with him, and what like remember since I haven't played so much. Yeah, there was just a miss. You give me sour when I took him.
Yeah.
I remember I even told you I was staying with Utabo Nutata. Yeah, I was showing the plate with Utabo Nutata. I even told him I think Tibos man. And I don't feel like I'm excited and really confident. Ngoba January. Mase ngibuye ekhaya. Mase ngibuyele Cape Town. Ngibuye umoya wami phansi wena but ngise angisenalo umdla ngiyazibuza ukuthi you just signed go December like wow nginamhla yabo. And then ke ngokuya that's when development nama injuries now I'm no longer performing as a Jimini. And then even boss yakhona ibingithanda kanjani. Committees. He even called me office and said, my son, what's happening? I said, hey, boss, I think I'll need some few months to go home. Yeah, but just because I remember I called even my mother. I said, later, yeah, so then John committees so what do you think we should do now? Should we settle the contract or should we do what? I said, yeah, I think we should better settle the contract and like, yeah, fresh, yeah, fresh, yeah.
And by then you signed a deal of how many seasons with them?
I just signed a season, yeah. I signed a season with them.
Yeah, and then you left.
And then I left, yeah. They were the one even they said like, do you want like help? Like where can we take you? Like like psychologists and so on so forth. Cape Town. I said, I think let me just go home first and then I'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you go back home.
Yeah, then I go back home in London and then I sat with my mother and then like I just ngahlala recover all the things ngazithola nje practically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that ngadlala in team Tornado. It's London just to keep myself busy. And then Pushbacks, Mr. Bucks, they called me. Yeah, it's chairman yakhona, Mr. Mnandi. Yeah, he called me. I said, like, boy, come and join us up in Mthatha, because they were playing in NFD. And then Mthatha is my hometown. And then I went to Mthatha Bucks. Yeah.
Then you push back by then you go NFD.
NFD, yeah.
Yeah. And then you play how long there before coming back again to PSL?
Mthatha Bucks, I played 6 months also in Mthatha Bucks, and then I went to, after Mthatha Bucks, I went to Babero. Babero based in Joburg.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's when things started looking up on TK. Yeah, the chairman Babero, Pacho, he's a good guy. He's a good chairman. Yeah, he called. In fact, I called him. I called.
You called him when you were at Bushbucks?
At Bushbucks,
because you wanted to come back to Joburg.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Barbero, they were never in an NFD team. They are ABC.
ABC,
yeah. But you left an NFD team to Barbero.
No, I left the NFD team. I remember there's Bushbucks and Mthatha Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mthatha Bucks was in NFD. And Bushbucks is in East London, is
ABC.
in APC.
Yes.
So that time I met Bushbucks, so APC. And then I called this guy. I said, I don't know, I've never met Pracho before. I said, hey, I heard there's this guy called Pracho, and I've seen the team. But it's a well-structured team, it's professional. I see them on social media. So I said, let me call the Pracho, go to December. I said, Pracho, hey, this is me, Luyolo Nomandela. Can I please come and train with the team in January? And he said, oh, come, it's fine, my boy, you're welcome. Come, get January. So I went to Austin. Yeah, that's where they were training. So I went there, and then the welcome, most this team is professional.
Yeah.
The welcoming was okay. Yeah. Where I feel welcomed when I practice, and I feel like it's home, I performed. So that's when things started to change. When we people, just stay here, like build your career again. That's when things started to light up with confidence. I started scoring goals with Babero.
Yeah.
I started scoring goals, and then
And when you got there, you found familiar faces. About the former Shamaite.
Yeah. Abo Lerato, I played with them. Yeah. Abo Mahowa. Yeah. Also, it helped me a lot.
I think I spoke to Levi Mokoti also.
Yeah. Levi. So it also helped me. Also, as you say, because I was playing with the guys that I played with.
Then eventually from Bavaria, what happened?
And
because
then,
like remember I said you played for so many teams.
Yeah.
You see now we are going through them. Then from Bavaria then.
Okay, then from Bavaria TK, and then it comes PCM. The PCM is based in East London. Yeah.
Is it Easy Bees? Not Easy.
No, not Easy Bees.
I remember from a Netbank Cup they played Sundowns. Those ones. Yeah. Then you go to BCM.
PCM, yeah, it's a team. Yes, East London.
NFD or ABC?
ABC Motsepe, yeah. And then coach Lapong, coach William Mukay. Coach William Mukay believes in me so much. He calls me, he said, hey, Mfanam, there's a team in East London, but PCM, man. We want players, we want experience. I know, my boy, when are you going to promote this team for me? Please come to East London. Coach William Mukay. I said, man, coach, I'm here at Babero, man, now. I'm still doing well at the side there. I said, next season, my season, we use it. I said, okay. And then this is last year. After COVID, go must be vula APC Motsepe League. And then I went to East London practically, and then East London is home. That's where my parents and my family stays. Yeah, so I went to East London, and then I trained with the EPCM, and then Coach Tsepo Mutsuneng came also. And Coach Tsepo, I was playing with him go for Stars. Yeah, so we had a goalkeeper there. He was a goalkeeper, so we had a good relationship, me and Tsepo as players. He also coached me at Tornado with Tsepo. So it was easy for me when I work with the coaches that they know me and they believe in me. So I already knew about I'm gonna have a good season up because I know when I take once I met a coach, because start with the coaches. Once the coach believes in the player, he plays on into. So I want to coach Wito is there, Coach Tepo is there, or Coach Khoto. There's other coach, but Coach Khoto was East London High. They all believed in me, and I told them when I TK, I said I won't finish this league. Yeah, and I told them last year I won't finish it. I'm going back. I told them, not in the league. You'll ask them. I said, because I already knew about mentally, physically, I'm top.
You're prepared now.
I'm prepared for the league, APC. And then when I started APC, we played first game, APC last year. First game, I scored. Second game, I traded. Third game, I scored. Fourth game, and that time, Uchipampeng is watching our games, not knowing that he's watching our games. I only knew after. So he was following our games. Okay, so the last game, because I only played 4 games. The fourth game, I remember it was on Sunday, and then the chairman, Chipper, he called me and said, "Hey, son, I watched your game yesterday. We were playing on Saturday. I watched your game on Saturday, my boy. Like, yo, what I saw yesterday, you deserve a contract in PSL." Just like this is a following day on Sunday. Last year, I think March. Yeah. Now I'm going back to PSL and only 4 games. So it goes back to what I was saying. I told the guys, and when it's happening now, there are like, these guys, but what? And it even came earlier than I thought, because I thought like maybe halfway through the season, any team will take me. So Chipa Mbenges called me on Sunday, saying, "My boy, I want you to come to PE tomorrow. You are joining Chipa United. We are signing you. You are not coming to trial. I saw what I saw yesterday. I've been following you throughout the games you played so far, and I didn't want you to know that I'm in the games, because you are not gonna perform the way you are performing." So it was a good feeling for me when I took it, because because if I knew about Chipa is going, it was gonna put pressure even on me. But I should do good for the team. I should do good for myself. So he called me, Uprachipa, said that, "Boy, I want you to come on Monday to train the team, and you are signing."
And by then you no longer have an agent. Now you're on
I'm on my own now.
You do things yourself.
I do things on myself. I went there, then I negotiated a contract, and then we agreed with the management, and then
And just before we get to Chipa, on all this hopping from this team ABC, that one, you left Sundowns with a big contract. Obviously, they were paying you well. Money wise, these other teams, does it matter, or you just want to play football?
I just want to.
Are they paying you?
They pay me when I take it, but in all my life, I always wanted to play soccer. I always wanted to play soccer.
Paid or not paid, it doesn't matter. As long as you can survive and play football.
Play football, Even that's why, because Sundowns, when I want man to show it was never about money with me. That's why I was the one who was requesting my loans with Sundowns, because I wanted to play. If I'm from Sundowns, we phone loan. That's why I even asked them to say, I'm somewhere. Because I want to play, because that's what I know. I want to play. So that's why even the teams about it, hey, mina ngisokulay team yakule. Mangise London ku pushbacks bayangibona ukuthi ngenza kahle bayangifuna. They call me, but I even made a history. Like I was bought from pushbacks. A Vodacom player, it has never happened. You don't buy because it's a amateur league. But that's how much confidence they showed me. They bought me from pushbacks. They were money transition that were made in Vodacom league. So they said, "Come." When they came to Babero, I delivered. I scored goals for them. But unfortunately now the COVID started, and then the league melipel, and we were doing so well. We were number 1 with Kelly's. That time was a promo to Kelly's, Pretoria Kelly's. We were chasing the league like so in the Pretoria Kelly's. So that's how when I always tell you, but players and teams and coaches, they want me. Because that when I'm moving to other teams, which means it shows I don't leave a bad record with my teams, because remember, TK, teams, coaches, they talk. If I come to your team, TK, and I do wrong things, you won't recommend me to another person. And most of the team, they always ask, "Hey, Munerana, Luyolo Nomandela, my point." So with me, that's why I moved from this team to this team, because they want the bill of my hand.
Because you moved to a lot of teams, and if you were a bad player or bad attitude, they will say,
That's what I'm saying.
But because everybody will say, "No, he left you, but we want him. He's leaving you, but we want him." It's because there was something you were giving.
Even there, when I went to PCM now, Ibabero and PCM, they were communicating. Upacho Sinejo, they were communicating with PCM. we want to Nomandela, man. Nomandela. And Upacho said, like, I will give you the boy because he's been doing well for me. I will give you the boy now because I've sold the team. So with that thing, when I think about there's negotiator, it means like I'm doing well with these teams. I don't just leave because when I go to another team, they communicate with the team that I left.
Yeah.
So there's no way I could sign it. I could be signed with another team if Bengenzeka go be my previous team.
So now you get to Chipa. Chipa just signed you.
Yeah.
What happens with Chipa again?
I go Chipa get price. Chipa is just like, hey.
I was telling you what's happening in that team.
What's happening, or what happened to me, or what's happening at Chipa?
What happened to you, and what was happening when you were there?
Oh, nothing happened at Chipa, Roman. I'm grateful to Chipa Benges because remember, Chipa gave me 2-year contract. After 5 years in the Premier League PSL.
Yeah.
I will forever appreciate him. I will forever thank Mr. Benges Chipa because he believed in me. He even said to me when he was giving me 2-year contract, he could even give me a 3-year contract. So I always appreciate Chipa for what he did to me and the Chipa United. And with Chipa, there's nothing wrong happened. When I just ngibuye ku Chipa manje because of my girlfriend. Yeah, she was not doing well, and my kids were not doing well. They needed me this side to be this side, and then that happened last year, June, while we were still preparing for my playoffs. We were time spent on playoffs, so. And the family was this side, my girlfriend and my children are this side. So I had to be this side, right? Because I was not even focusing on that side. So I spoke to management, Chipa no Pramoken, manage. I said, Pramo, I want to be a chose with family because now if iyagula and abantwana basebancane nakhona nabo and akunamuntu ogaya so nathi cela bangiphela isizini bazoqala isizini enjani ngicela base-Jozi. So that's how it happened. And then it's cheaper. They even insist about like go sort out China your problems and then let me give you 3 weeks. They even gave me 3 weeks after Sivulile for a president. Mokene said, okay, take 3 weeks off. Because I remember they went to Stellenbosch for a president and they said, I take 3 weeks for just to recover and see how are things at home. And guess what? After 3 weeks, it just became a worse situation. And I was at this side at Joburg after the playoffs. And I said, Bramo, man, let me not because now the thing is I'm going to be getting paid for free. And west part, other side of the town. Yeah, well, I said that let me just try. I'm at Joburg now while I'm still taking care of my family. Let me have my clearance so that I can look around teams up at Joburg while I'm still focusing on the family. So it was like just like that with cheap. It was a sad thing also because when I TK after a long time, and then we had to so and family comes first on our man because we have to cherish every moment you spend with the loved ones because we don't know what's happening tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So and I had to think it was not an easy decision to make because hence I'm saying like they even gave me like some few weeks to think about it. But I said, hey, boy, what's happening? I said, man, it's because of my girlfriend's not, and I can't dish her, especially there's kids involved. And then I'm other side of the town. At least it was Pretoria, Pulukwane. I can make it drive every Friday. It's not easy. And we don't concentrate when we get a call from your wife and your girlfriend and you say like she's sick. And there's no way we won't focus. We won't focus. We are dlalisa nje, we are just to at that moment. Then so I said, let me not be selfish to me. Let me take one for the team. Let me put family first. And pop team. It always does. My ancestors, they always bail me. So kudala bengibhekela nabo so nami makuvele situation ukuthi mama mina ngibhekela omunye umuntu ngingacingele mina medwa so be it yabo. So it was a matter of so manje mase ngibuya ngoJanuary because it was manje last year because baqeda ungama manje ama clearance they only gave me my clearance in October. They gave me my clearance in October because they even tried to pay me for 2 months. Best time China since about if we go maybe we can assist in indaba zama medical and everything. And then So that's the situation again.
No, that's touch, man. I hear you left Chippa for a good reason. Family
Yeah.
always comes first.
Good
Football
family.
will always be there.
Yeah,
You
football
can
and-
always get another team, but the moment to spend and support your wife doesn't come every day. So
Because-
you left for a good cause. I understand.
Yeah, because phela usola manje ukuthi uyahlala wena TK because there's a saying because mangisejozi it doesn't mean nami ngizoba ngudoctor kuye I'm not a doctor but the presence yami it should make a difference. Nako abantwana xa bebona utata ekhona endlini yabo the presence. So it was more like about that because you will say but you go to Joburg Mayano you're not a doctor you're not gonna treat her but I'm saying my presence abanye abantu baphila your presence when a TK kumi yangiphilisa manje just to be in this room with the TK ngiyaphila emphefumulweni yabo. So it was a matter of londo ukuthi futhi yenzeke kanjalo ukuthi njengoba ngifika couple of months ngibuyile ichinjo labonakala endlini.
Yeah, there is an improvement.
Improvement yabo. And then I've lost opportunity job ne but I didn't lose a life I didn't lose a soul because we talk about the soul here. So I said Enzo saying now I'm even pushing now I'm training I'm fully fit. Hence I'm saying I always adjust myself that I must always be ready when I take. That's why I always sign ngisana ngayiphi inyanga mina can sign ngoDecember if you check I signed Cape Town December abanye ngisela ngoMarch because it shows I'm always ready. Yeah because that's why Sundowns ngasana ngoJanuary. They wanted me to go ngoJanuary because I'm always ready. So that's why mina ngisana anytime Chippa United last year I signed ngoMarch. And the first game after signing I remember ngasana Wednesday and Monday the following week Sebeslana Sundowns London last year. So even now what happened I think I didn't sit down and feel sorry for myself but I kept on going I kept on pushing I'm training I'm keeping fit so that anything that comes it has found me ready. Because
I can see you're still in good shape. I was getting worried with Uzongelo to retire.
Of course,
what a waste. But I see you're still in good shape. So basically now you're just waiting for any team that is willing to sign you.
I'm just waiting for any team when I run man. Okay, because when I go to a team I always make sure I bring goals. I can score goals. I can trade goals when I run man. And whichever team I'm playing, I played for or I'm playing for, I always leave a mark. I always leave a mark. So as I'm saying now, I'm keeping fit now. I'm in good shape. I'm waiting just for a team that will say I was a fully player. Then I'm available.
And I'm sure Maubuga, most teams now, not mentioning teams, you see with Lapa can help.
No, bro. Not to say that when I run because I played it always look easier outside when I pass. So I wouldn't say that. Well, I can play for.
No, you're being modest. You're being modest. You know. When you know, you know.
When you know, you know.
When you know, you know.
You know. But when I take me saying that it's not coming out of arrogance. It comes out of confidence, of knowing yourself and seeing good side. There are lots of teams. Any player, most of the players, they're good. They're confident. So now there are many teams, NFT, PSL, especially PSL. I just want to take it time. But even me saying that it comes from humble. There's not.
You're not being arrogant.
But other players. I'm saying that.
What you can do.
Because I've played the PSL and I'm still doing it now. I'm a friend, even I'm 5 aside. I'm still here, but like now, to tell you something, 5 aside, no, not Dean, Hoto, Dion Hoto.
Yes.
Yeah, we're playing the same team 5 aside. And he said to me, brah, are you sure you don't have a team? Like, the time, my brother, I don't have a team.
But Mayano, that's one thing that usually is concerning me. Skillful players like you, why they seem to struggle to get teams? We have you now, quality. You can play, you've good shape. You don't have a team. We've got Ketuaki Masuku, skillful. It's been a while, he doesn't have a team. We've got now recently Taboraha, they released. He doesn't have a team. Is it difficult for coaches of nowadays or the systems to integrate skillful players like you guys?
No, not really. Like when I take I'm a coach amaningi now, ne? They want variety in the game. They want a dribbling player that should be a scoring player. So in most players are dribble shy, they don't score. And now it has changed football a bit because now first you must be a scoring player.
Yeah.
Before dribbling and everything.
Yes.
So again, if you check all those players you mentioned or any other players, dribbling players, if you can check, are they scoring? Not most of them are
Yes.
scoring.
But you are scoring goals.
I'm scoring.
You score set pieces.
Yeah.
But why is it difficult for any coach to say this guy can help? Do you think there is a perception about skillful players that limits their chances?
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say it depends on how many my teams are. If maybe sometimes they've got a similar player in the team because if you check if a team's got a skillful players, they don't want most teams being number skillful players. So if they feel like they've got one or two in the team, they know yeah. I think
it could be those dynamics. Sure. And besides, I see you still look like you can play anytime. And like you said, you sign anytime. Tomorrow you might sign. Somebody might sign. And because you're a free agent, you don't need to wait for open window.
No.
So you can sign anytime.
Anytime.
What other projects that you are busy with? I like what I'm seeing there. I see your brand there.
Okay.
Yeah. What other projects are you working on? Obviously, you're looking at life after football. But now you are still looking for a team, and I can see you deserve to be still playing.
Thank you.
What projects are you working on that you want people to know and where they can support and take note?
Oh, okay, sure. Thanks for the opportunity. Okay, I've got a brand, clothing brand, Mayano Clothing. It was established in 2020. Yeah, and it's been doing well. It's a clothing brand. Mayano, I'm the owner of it in 2020 when the COVID started. Yeah, it's been doing well. Yeah, iyafumaneka abantu na ku social media ikhona Mayano Clothing. Yeah, iyafumaneka. So I've been pushing London while I'm still pushing soccer, and it's been doing well when I man. And I'm also gonna be starting also in the bayama yesikolo yabantwana ofundisa abantwana ibhola because I thought like every time when I'm ngisenda when TK abantwana sokusithi Mayano kongifundisela abantu esa skills sakho yabo.
Yeah.
And ngiyabona ukuthi because I know now when TK kuba football is a calling. It's a calling noba ngathini football will always be there. Now I'm ngizofuna umntwana ithe cela ungifundisa. So that's what I've also be pushing now, be opening like just for isikolo nje club yabantwana ukuthi ngifundisa abantwana because I've been getting a request kwintwana namantombazana amancane bathi hey mntwana even the show Wayne where we went, me and Wayne, we went there for coaching cleaning. There were small boys and small girls who can play when I TK. So I thought like I should start something with development because that's where I also started. And that's where the love of football started for me. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to this year. And also to get a team. So I want to balance all of them because they're all in a soccer category. Because even Mayano, it's a Mayano Clothing, it's a sport wear, so it's also part of the sport. So I'm all in sport. And,
yeah. You know, that's great. And Mayano, the other thing that we hope to achieve with this show is to educate and advise current players in terms of how to survive this football life. You need to survive while you're still playing. You also need to survive after playing. You've had situations where you'll go years without a team, but you still kept it together. I mean, even now you find you're looking okay. You telling me you are fine. How did you survive this hostile football life where once you don't have a contract for 6 months, now you lose things and all that? How did you get it right? If you were to advise somebody who's gonna be a pro now or is gonna turn pro to say, boy, for you to survive this football life after maybe you go a year, 6 months without playing.
Okay, I'll advise the up and coming youngsters. I'll probably give the same advice I got from my father and my brother, my late brother. They'll say, you must save as much as you can. And saving start at R5. Or I say to time saver. Start at the salary you earn. You must hold 10 rand. You must save on that salary. So yeah, I started on saving and how to use money. You must have a budget on our money. If ungena salary, ungena budget ya monthly izakukhawathi yabo, so besize budget ne nama savings. And also man iyanceda ukuthi you must save your own time. Yeah, because most of us soccer players, we don't have our own time. We have isikhathi saba TK Thursday, kusasa Sam Friday. Yabo, anginaso isikhathi sikamayana ukuthi kumele ngihlale ngiwane yabo. So into ngizokukhuthaza ukuthi mama ukhula sentwana, I would say you still hungry. You always have your time about TK weba like ngophuma esigela ufika endlini ne uthi zitya fast uthatha ama boots uya egroundini. You still have your time in soccer. Once kuma uqala manje mase ubuya ejimini manje so ufuna umene utasha amanye amajita, but that time ubuya ejimini uyazi ukuthi ubudla PlayStation. So those are the things. Also surround yourself with family. Also get mele ube nomuntu ohlala naye, like get a good woman. If you've got a good woman by your side, yeah, everything, because mele umuntu wena TK ungazenzeli, ungathi mawuvuka ekseni uvuke sewunxiba sovaya, mele umsaba ukuthi mina akazuvuka ukuthi ngivaya yabo. Those things they limit you. Masenzeka sesifuni because nami senzekile that time ngingenamuntu okay hayi tasha lo nalo yabo, and that time yeah, okay, it's fun, but time relax. So Sundowns they promote that. They promote you should get a partner. You must stay with a partner. You must stay with a family member. If you don't have a girlfriend or a fiance or what, stay with a family member. Stay with your brother. Because if you stay alone at TK, you will have all the time for negative stuff. If you stay alone, more figure will relax with telling couch we want. The only thing that tasha machita. Actually, I think go check about on Instagram. Because you always have time for other things. But if you've got your girlfriend or your fiance or your friend or your family member around you, you won't have those times because you won't do those things. You stay with your older brother, you stay with your older sister, professional player. We won't go because you'll be grounded. But mostly one. So I'd advise my players when I take once they get to that environment, your professional life, to always stay and close to nabantu motivated. When you're also a soccer player, you cannot be uhlale nabantu on Fridays nabantu abahlala office, because I always tell players that you cannot be associating nabantu Sunday nabantu abasebenza office, because when a Monday your job needs your body. Bona bahlala office bafika bahlala couchini bashaya laptop lapho after 10 labantu sebelele labantu ba relaxile. That time when kusasa kumele umzimba wakho ube ngokufunctional. So I always told me if you associate nabantu businesses like abantu abajula ukuthi let's go and play hockey, let's go and have some coffee, like talk businesses, that time you always feel fresh. That time you always your mind nje wena TK ayikuphazamisi. So that's the advice I'll give to even not even the youngsters nabadala, because I remember even abo Tiko be always told me that hey Noma shana kumele uqale endlini aqala wenza umama ukuthi abe sharp umama endlini, then everything's going to be okay. Yeah. So it's important to be stable and grounded. It helps you. It helps you on a private, then sure it helps you on a private, especially even I'm more feel like if you are from outside Joburg, like from from Island, even from Joburg, there's no way when a private, because uzofika la usita uzokwazi uhlalela Roman ne uzofika if awuhlali no naked friend yakho steady ne uzofuna ubiza umuntu kwaze ngiphekela yabo. Those energies when I run man, that's why when it comes to Sundowns, when players are Sundowns, they've got energy because they're always in the camp, they're always in around the space of the team. They won't have time ngaphandle. If I don't know if you get my point. Yeah, they had to get a break off the field. Yeah, even now they're in Egypt, badlala league, so babebuya abanye babuya bafike umfazi uphekile kahle that life yabo. Not ungathi ubuya manje bobuya Egypt mawufika lapho endlini sofika kuhlangahlangene yabo. Yeah, so those things are probably motivate them players, because I'm motivating them judging from what happened to me, because I was once like ngifika stay ngihlala ngi-one apartment. Not that for no uzoganga on a ticket, just ukuthi as a person, even if you're not a soccer player, I remember Upinzo used to tell us about you must have a diary. A diary is not for amateur. A diary, it limits you, because one diary palba 2 days or each mean 8:30, we 12:30, then in game gym. So you go according to a diary. I'll pass them and say good long and call Kabanbani because you're guided by your diary. Yeah. So you go according to that, you top. because you ask me uphuma gym I'll call lost. Hey man, take a quick shower. I've got a meeting. Give a show in because we always have time about many space. We must keep busy. Then we'll soak. We have just a free time of doing nothing.
Yeah, because once you don't have a plan for a day, anybody can call you.
Yeah, and you will go because you don't have plans. And sometimes like but sometimes when some friend calls you, when a ticket doesn't call you just to come and drink, we come just to chill. Chilling off on Pitori, but I get me driving here to Pretoria. It's time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
and it's also taxing the body because now you are driving, you're supposed to be resting.
Yeah, and when that time you don't realize, but now you're straining your body, like you're overworking your body because you are training in the morning. And the guy you are visiting, he was busy in the office and clearly pants. Yes, office yeah, so those little things, man, they do help when I run, man.
Yeah.
Not that you neglect your friends, but you must always have your time and the span.
And your time at Bafana, how many caps did you have?
I have three.
Three?
Yeah, three. Yeah. Ish. Bafana, yeah, they called me first game. Like I remember, it was against Nigeria, Durban. Yeah. It was.
Who was the coach?
It was Ikasin. Gordon Ikasin.
Gordon Ikasin.
Yeah, he's the one who called me, Gordon Ikasin. I remember when I first get the call up, it was me and Bongani Zungu. Yeah, I remember we first got the call up. And
you were already at Sundowns?
I was at S3Ep2,
yeah.
And Bongani was at Tax then. Yeah, and then we got a call, and then we first kept. It was at Durban against Nigeria. It was packed, and Nigeria has the big team.
Yeah,
and then Gordon Ikasin told me before the game, said the morning before the game, it came, said, "Hey, son, are you ready for the game?" I said, "Yeah, coach, I'm always ready." He said, "Hey, we're playing African Giants, eh?"
Yeah.
Gordon said, "Yeah, I know, coach, I know." I said, "I bring them." And that time, left back, Yabo in Liobo or something. Yobo he was doing, and I was gonna play against him. I said, I remember, he said, "Hey, see Yobo." I said, "I know him, I watch him, but bring him because I'm not scared." So yeah. So and then I got a chance. I think it was in the 67th minute. Yeah, and then I was introduced to go inside. Yeah.
And you had a fair game. You enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, I enjoyed myself. Though I was a bit nervous because it was packed and I couldn't even when I'm trying to call for the ball from Abu Shaba. Like Shaba, Dean, they can't hear me, and I'm nervous. Then the second game we came to play against Burkina Faso in Soccer City. And it was the Mandela Challenge. Yeah, and then on that day I scored. I remember the commentators, they said Nomandela scored on the Mandela Day. Yeah. So it was a good feeling also because I remember that time there were lots of sports that were playing that day. I remember our rapid team, S3Ep2, was also playing that day.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a concert or something.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, we played. Yeah, and then we played well, and then I scored also that game. First goal for Bafana. Yeah, and then we played against Zimbabwe, Abu Kama. Sabadlana Orlando Stadium. Basidla labo yeah. Bashaya labo Khama labo bashaya labo Kaizer. So yeah, I did have a fair chance like Bafana. It was a good experience on our man. Yeah, they're very professional labo yeah. There you feel like you're representing South Africa.
Yeah.
They make sure like everything's proper.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make sure about like more representing Free Stars or Sundowns. You are representing Abantu South Africa. So all the South Africans are looking up on you. South Africa upon you, so you must know. So they always tell you about those things. Go for your squad and like now it's not about you. Now it's about South Africa.
But when you get there, how is the gelling between you coming from Free State Stars, viewed as a small team? You go there, you find Kaizer Chiefs players and overseas players. How is the mood or the environment when you are chilling? Do you get to walk with these from the state?
Year two at TK when I remember when I got to Durban, my first call up. Mangifika lapho bothu sebehleli phansi lapho nabayitu.
Yeah, abothisophala
reception abotikelo ranti abotin payment that time bedlala organti. And that time mina ngifike and I think I was the second last person to get in camp because I'm a driver from the first state to Durban, but guys from Joburg and Cape Town, they were flying. Because remember, we don't have a airport to go for state.
But didn't they suffer now say drive to Bloom and fly from Bloom?
Yeah, we had that option, but Usafa had all allocated a much because it was going to be, it's much closer when from Free State to Durban, yeah. So we drove with a Safa bus, and then when we got there, yes, yeah.
Is Safa bus collected you every state?
Free State, yeah, and then we drove to Durban. Yeah.
Then when you get there, you are the second last guy to arrive.
Yeah, second last guy to arrive, and I feel like I was actually much shy stuff now. So bafana and I'm like, yeah, levels, man, levels.
How figure do you target somebody who got alone and or what do you do to say?
I'm trying to no man.
Yeah, they've been playing. Being called up, and some they are from Josie.
Yeah, well, apparently sighting you one. I remember it was me from frustrating you one like okay, he was playing for Ajax then. Yeah, I remember he was my roommate.
Yeah.
So since roommate. But then much the soccer is just first day.
Yeah.
Second day, I see Jimmy now, because you have to buffet to lab none which means level like so I must see I saw Jim, and then first training session a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah. They always because now excited because maybe it's because I was also the youngest in then Bafana squad.
Yeah, no, with footballers I always say it takes 5 minutes to get used to it. If you know one guy, you know all of them. It's easy as that. So that's why they say it's a universal language. Yeah. Once you start talking, you feel like you know each other. So you just mentioned that you are playing, you can't even call the ball. Does it happen that you are playing a match, it's so packed, even when you call the ball, nobody hears you? The coach, when he gives instruction, you can't hear him. You just have to do what you need to do.
Yeah, Brian Zega. Let me tell you a story. We were playing the first state. I was at First Stars then. We were playing against Bloemfontein Celtics. And on a practically, it's a debut when First Stars and Bloemfontein plays. And we were playing a league game. A previous week, we lost to Celtics. A cup competition, 2-1. And after a week, we had to play against them again. Elegin. And Monkland First Stars by hyper Free State. The very same hyper Kaizer Chiefs, the Pirates chose. First is so. And that time, ne hamstring injury. I chose Prestive. We need you this week in Nomandela. We need you. So I can't lose. We Celtics twice. Which are during the week. We're training. Okay, I sure. And I born injury sharp. But okay, hey, must figure Saturday match game. Hey, Celtics, yes. And I'm playing well in this game. I'm playing well. I'm passing. We all want to win because must keep a cup in Laband.
Yeah.
So we had to redeem ourselves.
Yeah.
So I guess I push. And then after maybe 5 minutes before half time, Coach Steve Gumyang instruct Guti, Milen your presser ulai like. And that time, Yabon is a bit far from me when I practice. I won't reach him even if I am a presser. And the first stars, it was a pressing team. When Coach Steve say presser, Ucho with that voice, my presser. She must press. Because I want it. I coach Yabon so is Marang Zong, so it was pegged.
Yeah.
So not so is Sandam Coach Steve. And the Sugi practice.
Yeah.
Wakwata kanjani. And now my sons and some sino ngithi it's true. And that's if una get cheese Free State. Ngabe ngisithi coach ngangala bo be pass ball. After 2 minutes change sides. It was a long walk from the ground to change room. I could see Coach Steve was fuming ne. Ebecaba kusoyela ukuthi mina ngithe isandla ngamnganela. Must figure change room practically. The whole second half he was on me. Telling me when I saw about to star when I manage. Why so zandla manje? I give you a chance to do Free State. Manje zandla when. And that time cumulate keeper manje ngise change room because I'm sweating. Obviously that's what you do. Like we change room. Always take it out because we always carry 2 jerseys.
Yeah.
But talk a keeper so. So while like I'm sweating like and that time is on top of me. Every player my coaches are management.
I'm coach.
Mangena change room. Mangena nje mangena kushute bengimele. And I could sense ukuthi hey this one was ngenela ne. So I'm walking behind him ne. Ngicela ukuthi because I'm very shubi. Must speak I said, "Oh, ukayo. Oh, How now Pakistan? At that time, Steve Komela, when he speaks to me, it's course.
Yeah.
At that time, that day, Mshabaka suit.
Yeah.
Oh. So now fitly logo PSL. So now no fitly logo PSL. We are on Galela no. Na cash timber. Oh, Nomandela. At the time, Shapama, that time. I'm not going to the month. And that time, I'm also angry. I'm that time, I don't like. While still shouting me, I'm like, and the player said, hey, Norma. And I'm like, but coach Bembo wouldn't cartel. I fast forward the story. And then second time, it's Tomano. Okay, then. But coach, he never coached. Next. The whole second half.
Yeah.
When someone is angry, man. And at that time, when Coach TV, he had a pressure of losing against the Celtics.
Yes.
So he had a pressure now, but it's a must win for us.
Yeah.
You cannot lose with Celtics 2 times.
Yes.
The pressure comes from Pramike.
Yeah.
So second half, and then I said, let me pick up a person, a player. Second half, I had a good game again. And push my Palos Marseille, they helped me.
Yeah.
Pumlani Mama, I remember. Sambu, they helped Mama pusher. But no man, they don't fucking move into an amendment, man. Yamazu Kusti Kutunjan, man.
Yeah.
It's a weird in the Amsitlan, so performance. And then we second half, I played well again, practically. 89th minute, 90th minute, Puffman issue. Man, Charlie putting Galagash. 30 goals, Shama party, everything. Then he caught little bit like a change room. Second half of the game now. Luckily, the last 10 seconds of the game, they throw ball, and then they had a missed kick, Celtics, and outside the box, they rebounds. And I feel I'm shiny finish.
We're connecting my leads.
I connect.
Yeah.
I want to play just so I young enough, and I'm coach, they move along.
Yeah.
Winning goal. So the mixed emotions, and they're like, no, Steve, like, I feel like, and I'm just score a mansion where it down in and begging a socket. I've got Chiniga, and I'm like, I've got Chiniga, man. Good, so I just Steve, I've got Chiniga. I've got Chiniga, because that's how we spoke, me and Steve Komela. So it was a sweet ending in a way, because after game, it was also a foot if they score, because it was even telling me that. Even coaching, I coach the likes of about Stephen Pinari. They never did this to me. So so it was so again. So that goal helped me in the team. So yeah.
And now personally, it's not like you were disrespecting me, but you were emotional and
I was emotional. Yeah,
and in a heat of a moment.
And we wanted to win the game. And I was playing well. I didn't. Courage because I was right through the line, close to the line. So I was close to Steve, so I could hear him. Out. Come on, with that aggressive language. Yeah. So, but after game, I did apologize to him. After game, in front of the players, I did apologize to him in front of the players. I said, coach, it was a hit of the moment thing. Yeah, so let's joke now. Now I'm closer. Now I want to guide it. But it was then after that, never. Because it was always first. Months of me PSL, so he told me like how to handle the pressure of the game, especially when playing against a big team. Like in big games, like they've got a big the temperature on. So you have to when it's a big day and a big game, you have to have the big heart. So after that game, I've learned that okay now.
It will happen now and then, but you just need to know how to handle the situation.
Yeah.
Sure. Look, Mayano, it was a good conversation. I really enjoyed our talk. You know, football, we can talk the whole day.
The whole day, yeah.
But I'm glad that you came, and I think you'll be the family of the show. That's what I always do with the guys. I don't talk to you once we do the show and then I forget about you. You'll know, you'll see.
Okay.
We'll be in touch, and where we can support with your initiatives, we'll be there.
Okay.
We'll talk offline about your clothing brand. See how we can support. If possible, let's have one of our shows, guest and me wearing your brand.
Okay.
In that way, we are promoting the brand.
I would love that.
I'm committing to that.
Thank you.
We are on season 3 now.
Thank you.
Let's see before we finish. So you must just engage me offline and see what other product you have. and see what we can get for my crew. That will be us supporting you.
Thank you.
As a black brother to say, let's help one another.
Okay.
And by so doing, most people will be see your brand, and it can only grow from there.
Yeah, but I appreciate that so much, and also thanks for your time. I really appreciate in those injuries. We don't take them lightly because that's how we life kanje prakakhuliswana. So I really appreciate the invite, Nyabulela, and everything. Yeah.
No, thanks a lot, Mayano. We'll continue to engage offline, and you'll be back in this show because now you're still looking for a team. There are some things I didn't want to talk about.
Yeah.
You'll only talk to them when you say, I think manje boy.
Yeah.
Let's go deeper.
Let's go deeper. Yeah. I understand. Yeah, let's go deeper. Because I'm saying he legend. Saying
yes, because now I feel like I'm talking to a player. You look like a player. You should be playing, and I can tell you, you'll be playing very soon. Somebody will give you a call, and you'll be back on the pitch.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So from me, TK, that was our conversation with Luyolo Nomandela Mayano. We really enjoyed our conversation. And thank you very much. Let's meet on the next episode. Continue to subscribe, share the channel, and give us comments. Thank you very much.